Welcome, everyone, to That Kind of Nerds podcast, a weekly show that tells you what is going on in the nerdy world. I am CJ Mellon, joined by Josh Burns.
What up? So I just, quickly, Brian isn't here. No reason to be sad. CJ and I are going to handle it.
Woo!
However, we do want to say it's Monday now, so a very happy belated birthday to Melissa Castillo.
Woo! Happy birthday, Melissa! All right, ladies and gentlemen, before we dive headfirst into this episode, I do want to take a moment and let you know that one of the very unique things about our show is the ability to have your voice on it every single week. So you can actually call a phone number, 484-373-4119, leave us a message about a topic, a thought, or something that we talked about last week, and we will play your voice on the air so you can be part of the show. If you're a little shy, you don't feel like leaving a message, you can always text that number, and we'll read them as well. So, before you dive headfirst into this episode and you want to be on it, go ahead and call that number, but also go to intro.thatkindofnerd.com, learn a little bit about us, a little bit about the show, and then you can enjoy this episode. Good, fantastic. I realized I don't have anyone to banter against a different episode. So,
yeah, Josh, I'm not going to interrupt you a whole lot. Maybe a little bit.
Tech Perspective is going to be interesting. All right, so Josh, we have one item of follow-up, it looks like, from last week's episode regarding
we sure do.
Some television. So what's going on?
Well, you want to know what? Normally, Paul would call in and leave a message.
Paul
but
Castillo.
he's been so busy watching Letterkenny all week that he just texted me. So I talked last week. CJ buried the lead a little bit about the giant LG 88-inch monster TV that is also basically a sound bar.
First off, I didn't bury the lead. I didn't know it existed.
You buried the lead.
I didn't know it was there.
Well, I knew. So
you didn't put, so your failings are now my failings.
My failings are absolutely your failings automatically. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Paul's response. And I'm going to try to not go full AV nerd on this, but I'm going to read it and then we'll go from there. Sony has 3 current models that use the screen as a speaker, all OLED. And then he lists 3 models. If you want to know what they are, hit me up. I'll give them to you, but I'm not reading Sony models. One of them can be used as a center channel, stereo 2.0 or 3.0 with a receiver. Not earth-shattering, but better than normal TV speakers. Not much bass, but has a subwoofer output built in. Now, there's a couple reasons all of this is good to know, right? So, like, if, for instance, and I think, the little bit of AV nerd I'm going to roll out here is, I really love that Paul stated one of these models can be used, the high-end one can be used as a center channel. Because center channels are A, critical, and B, a placement and imaging eyesore and problem.
It's where the dialogue lives.
Too low, too high, you mess it up. And then obviously it's going to impact how you mount your TV and where you put it. It's just a giant problem. The TV having a built-in subwoofer output is really cool too. It means that you can use it like a sound bar, but admitting you're not going to get the bass you need, so you can just add a standalone subwoofer. That's really, 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 really cool. And honestly, listeners, when I have questions regarding AV, I call Paul. That's what I do. I better call Paul.
I was just about to say, better call Paul.
I better call Paul. And you want to know what? He's almost always right.
Yeah, he's never steered me wrong either.
Right.
I was buying a television and my new TV that I have, anyway, and I went to Paul. I was like, is Paul here? Like, I went to the store, is Paul working? They're like, no. I'm like, all right, I'll be back later, bye. And then went a day when Paul was working, I was like, Paul, this is the TV I want, this is what I want to watch, this is what I want to do. Am I being dumb? And it was, nah, I think it'll work, but I have questions XYZ. Oh, okay, answer. And then Paul set me up with the right television and let me know about better sound bars, but I was cheap, so I didn't buy it. So, but
guys
Paul
are
helped.
fucking AV whisper.
Fantastic. So, Paul, thank you for letting us know that some of this technology has already existed. And if you are interested in the models, please email Josh at thatkindofnerd.com or hit him up on Twitter. You can hit us up on at thatkindofnerd as well. And I'll make sure that Josh gets back to you with some TV models. All right. Now that we're done with some follow-up, everyone knows it's my favorite hobby. It's my absolute favorite hobby to go around the internet. And then I find the weird, and then I find the obscure, and then I ask for a tech perspective.
Yeah, I'm not going to do the thing.
It feels good. I just can go right into a segment.
Yeah, go right into it.
All right. So since we're talking about TVs and making everything look good, especially when it comes to mounting, one of the...
Mounting. We make mounting look good, folks.
Really?
Well, it felt like the right time.
It's like basically, it's just like Brian interrupted me with a modem sound. That's what's going on.
It's not the same thing.
That's all right. So I found this topic and I thought it was very interesting. The headline says, "Rid your home of eyesores with this $14 cable management kit at one of its lowest prices." And you look at it, and I'll include a picture and a link in the show notes. But it looks like one of those things you would find like a school where like it's a little like bar that goes on the wall that you just feed your cables through.
Like, I don't understand why anybody is. I mean, these like Cordmate. I don't. You know, there's varying brands. Sanus makes them. All of the TV mount companies make them. Why? All of a sudden, does anybody think this is A, new, or B, not still an eyesore? The picture that they posted here of this cable management system is a fucking eyesore.
So for me was the larger question of cable management. I look at my area, my TV, by my infotainment center, and it looks like a computer threw up and just cables everywhere. It's awful. Cable management. It's so I couldn't tell you what plug is what. So my question is for you, Josh, in particular, is that important? A lot of people just bought new TVs. A lot of people just got new accessories. Is cable management actually important, or is it just a thing that if you're OCD, you just do?
Oh, listen up, folks. First and foremost, if you have a spaghetti mess behind your TV, I'm not even sure how to help you.
I got it.
I mean, you need to keep that shit clean. You can go as inexpensive as going to your local car audio installer. You've got shops around you. Some of the bigger specialty retailers have car audio installers.
Sure.
And you just go in there and you say, "Hey guys, can I get like 30 feet of split loom?" And it's going to cost you roughly $3, and you can manage all your cables that way. Like split loom and zip ties are
Is split loom like the woundy thing?
Yeah, the woundy thing.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like a pipe, but it's
like a spiral notebook was hollow, like the
hollow plastic,
okay,
right?
Yeah.
And you just split it open and you lay your cables in, and at both ends you zip tie them so they stay taut and neat,
like a toiga,
right? But like split loom costs nothing. It costs nothing.
Sure.
Now again, if you are running a line from 5 feet away, you wouldn't want split loom exposed like that. But I also wouldn't want a white, plastic or metal strip along my wall or baseboard either. So what I'm going to recommend anyone who just did this look into is like an in-wall power kit, right? You can very easily just cut a small hole in the drywall, install this behind your TV or your entertainment center, and you're not running any additional wires. Like, it's just everything's in the wall. It's back there. It's concealed. It's safe. You've got shielded cables in the wall, and those in-wall power kits, $50 to $100 depending on the features.
Yeah, I'm just looking at one for $100.
Right. So like, I don't see why you would still want to run some sort of, contrasting color. And a lot of them are matte finish, so they are paintable, but it never quite shows up the right way.
See, for me, it's I rent, right? I don't own, so I can't cut a hole in the wall to do something like that. So I've got to go with things like this.
Then CJ, you want to look for one. The problem is the one that they're advertising here is such a great deal.
Yeah.
It looks to me like it's a metal piece that has a glossy finish, which means it's not paintable. Right. So if I'm going to have this fucking thing, I would want paintable.
I like your split loom better than this thing. I think the split loom.
My split loom is like $3.
That's what I'm saying. That sounds like a much better option.
And the other thing is, couldn't these people just move that entertainment center 3 feet over? Like, what are you doing?
Please, you have to go see the show notes. That's exactly all he has to do. They just have to move a table over.
What choices are you making?
And they're perfectly fine. Why are you creating a bigger problem? Get your shit together, people. Anyway,
I just don't. And at that point, CJ, split loom would be perfect. Also, these Savages, appear to have their TV plugged directly into the wall.
Yes, don't do that.
And not into like a Panamax or something.
And like hell, I would even take a run-of-the-mill surge protector over directly plugging into the wall.
No. You want to clean
over
up that
directly
voltage.
plugging into the
You
wall.
want to clean up that voltage.
I agree with you. I just like,
and this isn't a super fancy house that has like a whole home voltage regulator either. This is like an apartment, and they ran the thing.
Yep, I agree. Listen, the main reason I brought this up was there's a lot of these things coming out right now. We've been talking about TVs. TVs are going to be a hot topic of conversation just due to the fact that CES and everyone has just wrapped up. So you may be interested in new TV. And I agree. I don't think spending $14 on this is the best decision, or aesthetically the best decision. And there's better options out there. So do that. I want to segue into one more topic of TVs, and it had to do a little bit of a conversation
follow-up
that we had yesterday, or last week, I should say. With AirPlay 2, AirPlay 2 enabled TVs. And we talked about that at length last week. So if you want to catch that, go back to last week's episode. But Brian had a question. He goes, will my TV be upgraded to AirPlay 2? And I was like, no. Apple has unveiled, they have a website, which is now in our show notes, of the list of announced AirPlay 2 enabled televisions. This is the definitive list. These are the ones that have been announced. So there may be some coming. Brian has a 2018 Samsung TV, and he is covered. But it's also a good list on here. But I thought what was really interesting was Vizio had TVs going back to 2017 on there. So if you own a television and you're curious of will it support AirPlay 2, check out this list and see what you can do.
Dude, this list is actually pretty money. So
it's a really good list.
Please check out the show notes. There's some stuff in here, and it's not just the TVs. And obviously, what's funny is that I mentioned specifically last week on the show the E series and the P series, and both are back to 2017. So like anybody who's bought that TV in the last 2 years, probably you're in good shape. That also they're lower end, the D series included, but I was also looking at the speakers, and
oh yeah, that's another.
Obviously, there's some high end stuff in there, but there's this Denon Hios sound bar.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in the market to replace my sound bar shortly, and my sound bar isn't AirPlay 2 compatible, but I have an Apple TV, so no big deal. I'm also likely in the next year or two going to be in the market for a new TV. But as we all know, I'm a huge proponent of the HomePod. I own one of those. But seeing that Sonos, One, Play 5, Playbase, the Beam, they're all in here. Like
it's a lot.
Look, they're quite a bit more cost effective.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say they're as good as the HomePod because I don't believe they are. But if I need to outfit my house and I can do it for $99 a room instead of $299 a room,
right? Exactly.
Like this is a really good thing. And then this Denon, specifically this Home Cinema HS, this soundbar, it's less than $1,000. It's a great piece of equipment, and it's AirPlay 2 compatible.
Yeah. Plus, if you're not solely focused on Apple Music, for instance, and you're a Spotify user, which by the way you can subscribe on Spotify for that kind of nerd. Just saying, you'll have the ability to Spotify to your soundbar and stuff like that, and also you could AirPlay some content to it as well. So, I mean, you can get the best of both worlds. Also, like every brand of lights and switches that you can possibly get. This is insane. Yeah. All the outlets, all the there's a lot of stuff. It is a good time right now to build.
Be alive?
Well, absolutely. But to start buying some smart devices, a lot of things are starting to talk to each other. So I would highly advise you check out this list.
Guys, outfit your whole house. This is crazy.
Absolutely. Yep. It's really good. All right.
Check out the show notes.
I do want to address, this is like a public service announcement for this next topic. It's not necessarily
PSA?
The weird score. PSA.
Sorry.
Oh, that's good. All right, so this next topic is really just a public service announcement rather than a full-blown topic. But it's very important, I think, that people are aware of this. There was a email leak of 773 million email addresses that have been leaked, as well as passwords. And some of this is a little bit of old news. There were some hacks from Dropbox and Last Track and a couple other services from years ago. The problem was someone got the data and decrypted it and put it in plain text, which means if you're a hacker who wants to know passwords, you can just download this file, and if you have Word or Notebook, you can search and read it. So I highly recommend you check out the article from This Next Web. They have a link to a great site, which I recommend you just go check out. It's called Have I Been Pwned? PWND. And you put in your email addresses, and it'll tell you if that was part of a leak. It does also recommend, as I have been recommending for over a year now, that you get a password manager. Don't let your passwords ever repeat. Don't use the same password. Get a password manager. Josh will tell you not to for right now because he doesn't believe in them. It's fine. Get one. They're the best thing in the world. There's free ones. But go check this out. If your email has been compromised, I would suggest changing some passwords. But with 773 million email addresses leaked, you're bound to have an account compromised. So just check it out and be safe out there. The internet's dangerous. Don't go alone.
I don't know if I'm putting my email address onto a thing that says...
No, this is... Go ahead.
Have I been pwned?
Right.
From a site called thenextweb.com.
No, so the next web...
That has more clickbait on this page than an actual substantive article.
True. All right. So you gotta get that. But haveibeenpwned.com, extremely reputable. I seriously, I wouldn't tell people, our listeners that I care about, to go to a website where their data could be kind of like, sketched or harvested. It's not that. There's a whole about me page on who is pwned and goes into the philosophy behind it. I really do recommend this, and I've used it personally. So I'll put my reputation on the line.
Have you been pwned?
Oh yeah, I've been pwned a couple times, but the great part is I have a password manager, so it doesn't matter. So like Discus is a service that was a big blogging comment powerhouse for years, and actually that kind of nerd .com, when we were running the full blown website, was using Discus to manage comments. 2017 there was a leak, but again, I have a password manager. So it was a unique password just for Discus, so nothing was compromised.
Yeah, I mean, I'm seeing it. It doesn't. It's like, I don't really care.
And again, it's the big leak that I'm talking about with the 773 million. Some of it include like the Dropbox one from 2011. The problem was the Dropbox leak had emails and passwords, but the passwords were encrypted. But this new leak had that data with unencrypted passwords. So what was previously unknown to the hacker is now, publicly known. I'm not saying that you have to take immediate action. It's just good to know.
Okay. Well, that's what public service announcements are.
Right. Yeah. Right? The more you know. All right. Now that we're done with that public service announcement, let's turn our attention to the world of TV and movies in a segment that we call Screen to Stream. Now, this is a great time for you to look around, listener, find the heaviest object to your right, all right? Whatever the heaviest object to your right is, take a photo of it and send it to us on Facebook or Twitter with the caption, "I'm going to throw this at CJ until he's unconscious." John Wick, Chapter 3, has just unveiled its newest trailer, and I still haven't even seen John Wick 1 or 2.
Oh my God!
So now I will be bludgeoned to death by the hot object that you have closest to your right. And I know a few of you are now reaching for heavier objects than when I initially told you to find the heaviest. You found a heavier one. So, Josh, I'm going to leave this up to you. And I know that Brian also yelling at me, but Brian, you haven't even seen some Doctor Who, so shut up. Tell me your impressions on John Wick 3 and tell me how you and tell me what you feel.
Dude, that's not the same. I mean, you can't compare not seeing John Wick 1 and 2 to not seeing Peter Capaldi's Doctor Who.
Well, if there was a gentleman's agreement made to it, I'm sure I could, but there wasn't.
Oh, no, you couldn't. I mean, it's just those. So John Wick was one of the more unexpectedly good.
Listen, I'm all on board. I want to see it. I just every time I try to or I mean to, I forget or I don't have the time to actually watch it. Like, it's
pretty sure you can find them on streaming.
And that's what I got to figure out. But I would rather hear more about John Wick 3 because no one wants to hear how bad I am for watching this movie. They want to hear how great this trailer is and want to hear a thought. So tell me about John Wick 3 because you had a great reaction once you were done watching the trailer.
I mean, these sequels, not spinoffs, these sequels keep getting better. Like how, and like unexpectedly so. And the cast is not like people you're like, oh, I can't wait to see these people in a movie. Like outside of like, and most people will be like, I don't care about Keanu Reeves at all, right?
Right.
Except he's amazing, right?
Right.
Ian McShane.
Oh yeah, love Ian McShane.
Lawrence Fishburne.
Love Lawrence Fishburne.
Angelica Houston.
Oh,
for God's sake, Angelica Houston.
Underrated. Yes.
We haven't seen Halle Berry since God knows when, and I'm fine with her staying under
Under
whatever
whatever
rock she was under.
yeah.
But
whatever residual
she's
checks
in
was
it.
cashed in. Sure.
Look, you've got action stars like Mark Dacascos. Common's in this, and like the last time we saw Common, he was pretty badass.
Yeah.
It's a great cast, and it seems like a great story. Apparently, John Leguizamo will make a return in this. He was in, the first one. So I don't have anything bad to say. The story looks action packed. It looks, just as maybe suspend your disbelief a little bit as the last two. Look, I really like this movie series, and it's so silly.
Yeah.
And it's so graphic novel being played out on the big screen type deal that it's just really, really, really good.
I have not come across anyone who has seen John Wick and said, yeah, it's all right. It's always, it's way better than I expected. And it's always followed with, you should totally see it. No one's ever come through and be like, catch it when you can. They're like, what are you doing right now? Like, is right now really an important task that you're doing? Are you doing something really important? You should probably watch John Wick. So
May 17th.
I can watch it before that. It's my birthday time, so I can watch it before that.
What I'm saying is you got to watch the other two.
Yeah.
And then I don't know why are they calling this Parabellum?
I don't know. I haven't watched the trailer because I haven't seen the first two, so I didn't want anything to be.
Well, I just looked at the article, and it does look like it's being called John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum.
Cool.
And like Keanu Reeves, good Lord, what a renaissance, man.
Also,
like, he's just having a career.
Yeah, he's having a ball. Also, doesn't age, so secretly a vampire. All right, so carrying on with some trailer and movie announcements. This week, we learned that Up in the Air and Juno director Jason Reitman has been working on a secret sequel to the Ghostbusters movies, which will be coming out in 2020. Also, a bit of news for this. This is completely ignoring the recent reboot, not sequel, but reboot of Ghostbusters with the all-female cast. And this
also not spinoff.
Also not a spinoff. And will include the surviving original members of Ghostbusters. In what capacity they will be featured, I don't know. But
probably not a ton of fighting ghosts.
Probably not a ton of fighting ghosts.
From
Probably
Aykroyd
a lot of
and Murray.
Probably a lot of passing.
Are
the
we going
torch.
to have? So we'll have Ernie Hudson too.
Ernie Hudson, Dan Aykroyd, Bill Murray are going to.
You know what I would really love? What I would really love is if Rick Moranis would come back just for one.
Yes, just for one scene.
And he has. I get it. Like the dude is retired and he's a family man, and I totally get it.
Yep.
But like if Rick Moranis would just come back for one more
just one
show.
thing. Just one thing. Yeah.
And this also doesn't say Sigourney Weaver, which
it doesn't.
If you bring back Bill Murray, but you don't bring back Dana, like bring back Venkman.
Right.
Venkman needs his Dana.
So Brian and I were talking about this offline, and we were just talking about, hey, what can they do? And they said, listen, Bill Murray doesn't want to do any more Ghostbuster movies. So he said, Brian's theory is that they're going to do what Harrison Ford did for Star Wars, to say, listen, come back, be the character one more time, we'll kill you. But and we'll bring you back as a ghost if you ever just want to pop in and goof around. But if you're tired of the character, fine, we'll kill you. But Brian's hope was that he ends up with Sigourney Weaver at the end. Like, at least there's a happy ending for his character, or they show them that they've been together. So you can at least wrap that up a little bit.
Yeah, I'm just saying you need Dana. If you're gonna have, Venkman and maybe Zool, you also need Dana.
So again, this is ignoring the Paul Feig 2016 reboot. The trailer, excuse me, the teaser, because I want to call it trailers. The teaser shows a barn. You start seeing a little bit of light coming out of it. It looks like a pack. Looks like someone's probably playing with a proton pack for the first time. Gust of wind comes up and unveils the Echo kind of rusting essentially
Ectomobile
in a barn. It looks really great. I mean, it's nothing probably to do with the movie, but it looks pretty cool. I'm excited for this. I am a person who fell into the Ghostbusters a little later than I probably like to admit, but it was also released like the year I was born, so give me some slack on that. But I'm really excited for this, and very excited to see what they do. And I like this director, so hey, I'm on board. Sounds good to me.
Yeah, Ghostbusters, man, bring it on.
Can do it. Okay, this is a topic that has been causing some conversation around my place of work and some friends on the internet. Netflix has announced another price hike. This headline, I think, is just fear-mongering, essentially. Netflix announces its biggest streaming price increase ever. And look, it's like $2, like he's up. So the company's standard plan, which had cost $11 a month, will now cost you $13 a month. If you want the HD content that also doubles the number of screens, goes from $14 a month to $16 a month. And if you have Netflix basic plan, it's going from $8 to $9. So here's the other. Also, Netflix, they were starting to release a little bit of numbers, as Netflix doesn't normally do. And they had noticed that at the end of 2018, and the third quarter of 2018, they had 137 million subscribers. So taking things up, $2 or $3, depending on your price tier. Yeah, I think they just paid for a couple original shows. They were also complaining that Netflix isn't really losing audiences to the likes of HBO and Amazon Prime, but rather they lose more eyeballs to Fortnite than their own streaming service. So they're basically saying, hey, we're not worried about HBO. We're not worried about Amazon Prime. We're not worried about Disney Plus. I mean, the only thing that's stopping people from watching our content is, a game that steals dance moves from artists. So
what they're saying is parents are going to pay because their kids are watching Fortnite. Or playing Fortnite.
Playing
right?
Fortnite,
so
right?
Parents need something to do, so they'll pay an extra couple bucks a month, and we will add $274 million per month.
Right.
And guys, I got to tell you, I could survive on only Netflix, Hulu, HBO.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I mean,
dude,
I like
you're describing
DC Universe, but I could cancel it. But like, I could survive on Netflix, Hulu, HBO Now.
Yep.
And then my sports package.
You're describing my life right now minus the sports package.
Like, I don't.
Yep.
I've come to the realization that I don't need television at all.
Yep.
Ever,
dude. You're describing my life right now, which is Netflix, Hulu, and HBO Go. And
once I cut out the $130 per month like tumor I'm carrying around. Okay.
Yeah.
So you want to hike it $2? Great.
And we talked about this when
sounds good. Guy.
We talked about this when Netflix we talked about this when Amazon Prime changed its prices, right?
We did. And the question I posed to you guys the last time we talked about a price hike like this was what would you really pay? Would you pay $30 a month? Because I honestly think it's worth $30 a month.
I would. Yeah, I probably would. And you know me, I'm a really
no,
cheap
you're a very
bastard.
frugal individual for sure. Like, but I look, Netflix, HBO Now, Hulu, not in that order necessarily. I'm already paying the annual fee for Amazon Prime, so I consider that, I get that either way. Right. Apple Music. And, beyond that, I don't need a ton.
Yeah. My
sports packages. I must have all my baseball and I must have all my football.
Yeah. This also reminds me that I need to go update our guide to cord cutting now that Netflix has raised its prices. So thanks, Netflix. Now I got to go into Excel again. No, the other part too is T-Mobile pays right now for my Netflix account. I had to pay a difference, I think, of like $2. Woohoo! They said that they are going to cover this cost until May. Here's what it means for you, Netflix users, though. Here's what it means for the average person. This price increase is not going into effect for current subscribers right now. It is literally right now in effect for new subscribers. Current subscribers, this will be rolling out over the next couple months. They don't really have like solid dates that they can point to say you customer will get it on this point. But the Netflix price will be going up. So just know what's happening. It's again, I think we kind of hit the point.
You're not even going to notice.
Not going to notice it. And again,
you're going to hit your credit or debit card. You're not going to give, or your PayPal account. You're not going to give a shit.
And you're going to be fine with this. You're not going to notice, and also I don't think you're going to care. I think everyone gets enough content out of Netflix.
A $2 price hike. Buy one less pack of gum.
Don't buy that fruit stripe. You know it goes at bland in like 2.5 seconds.
All right, tell you what. When you think about mashing the gas pedal on the highway, just set your car into like eco mode or whatever and get in the right lane. You've saved $2. Good job. You've paid for Netflix. Good decisions.
And there's a couple articles that are floating around like people may cancel Netflix. I'm like, all right, listen, you got a poll.
There's nobody canceling.
You got a poll. You ask like 100 people, like, hey, Netflix increased the price. Would you cancel it? I think about it. They canceled. Like, no, dude, they're not. Because then it'd be like, hey, when someone goes, hey, did you see the latest episode of blank? They're like, oh no, it's on Netflix. You should. Oh well.
Oh, you mean all the 35,000 different original content that drops on Netflix every month, and we're all living in fear of missing it.
Like we talked about how it's a part-time job last week.
It is a part-time job. Like just the comedy stuff alone. Like I think Sebastian Maniscalco dropped a new one that I haven't watched yet.
Yeah, I was listening to a few last night.
And if I didn't have a Netflix subscription, I would pay $13 just to listen to Sebastian Maniscalco because his tickets, CJ, at the Sands Casino were $170 a piece.
Ooh. I'll sit at home for that. That's okay.
Right. And I was like, oh, babe, I'm sorry. Like, I wanted to take you, but I'm not paying half Hamilton price for this guy.
Does he kiss you on the mouth and then give you a soft pretzel for that price?
Wow, that's an odd combination.
Does he kiss you on the mouth and give you a soft pretzel?
I don't think so.
Well, then I'm not showing up.
All right, fair enough. I mean, it'd be a lot of fucking soft pretzels and kisses on the mouths.
No, one passionate kiss and a soft pretzel, but not a ton of salt.
I'm imagining Sebastian Maniscalco right now, like, I have a soft pretzel for you, and I got a soft kiss. But I didn't bring any condiments.
Oh, no mustard.
Right. You have a dry. You have a dry soft pretzel.
BYOM.
By the way, if you all listening haven't listened to any Sebastian Maniscalco, do his just YouTube company, Sebastian Maniscalco Company, and it is basically my childhood. It's unreal how he sort of he just conveys a young Italian family perfectly. It's so good. And it's very stereotypical, but also very, very, very funny.
So, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to talk about the world of comics, see what's affecting TV, see how it's affecting movies, but how it's also affecting the whole world this week. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Cape Talk. Brian, take it away!
Cape Talk!
It's nice to have him here even when he's not here. Makes me feel good. Spider-Man Far From Home dropped its official teaser trailer, and my biggest takeaway is we have Mysterio, and he's wearing a fishbowl! Yes! Sorry. I was giddy for joy. I was sitting next to Brian when this dropped, and he literally squeed so much that it was audible. I heard him, and then I think he changed his pants a couple times as well. So, Josh, you watched the trailer. What are your thoughts?
I mean, well, they keep with the theme. Peter Parker's hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Peter Parker here to pick up a passport, please. I mean, come on. But like, I don't know. The suit was dope. I don't know the name of the suit. I'm not Brian. The suit was dope. Mysterio was ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who's not looking forward to this movie? Who?
Yeah, I dare you to tell me a bad thing about it.
I defy you to find someone not looking forward to this movie.
I know I know that Brian is upset that he is not here this week to talk about this trailer. There are a lot of Easter eggs and a lot of little things to pick up in this trailer. I think there's one thing though that I think is kind of something to keep in the back of your mind. First time we see Nick Fury meet Spider-Man. That's really cool. But number two, I think there's more than meets the eye when it comes to Mysterio and what's going on with these larger villains.
They team up.
Yes, but I don't think it's that simple, Josh. It's not that simple. There's a bigger story to tell right there, and looks can be deceiving.
They're battling elementals, is what I'm reading.
Sure, but the question is, where did they come from, Josh?
Well, I don't know the answer to that question.
All will be revealed. July.
You're saying this is all tied into Endgame?
No.
No.
Well, I mean, obviously, Endgame informs, last time we saw Peter Parker, he was turning into dust.
Is this before or after the snap?
This is after the snap.
Well, so then it's all tied into Endgame.
Correct. But I think the thing of him fighting those monsters has nothing to do with Endgame.
Okay.
Would you like more, or would you like me to leave it at that?
Well, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not really sure where you're going with all this. This is crazy.
Are you familiar with Mysterio?
I mean, from the books a bit, but no, I don't know. I'm not Brian. I don't have the whole story.
That's all right. You don't need to. I'll say this: Mysterio is the perfect Spider-Man villain for film, and I'm so glad that they are doing him correctly. That we got the budget for it. That we got the right studios in charge of making this happen. I think he's going to be a fantastic villain for Spider-Man: Far From Home. This movie's going to be great. I also like the fact that we got to see Aunt May with him in on the fact that he's Spider-Man.
Well, we knew that at the end of the last movie.
Right, but we see her embracing it and
well, she doesn't really have a choice.
Being active in part. Well, she could, just decide to ignore it like she did with Spider-Man 2 or 3.
Are she and Happy going to hook up? Because that would be fantastic.
That's what it looks like. Jon Favreau is probably just going, can I write the one where Happy hooks up with...
That's right.
Can I make that scene happen, please?
Yeah. Since I'm involved in this anyway, let's get me and let's get me and Marissa Tomei kissing.
I think that should happen. I did start this whole thing with Iron Man. I've been carrying this for 8 years.
That's right.
I mean,
don't lest any of us forget I was responsible.
You're welcome for all the fortunes of money that you have, Robert Downey Jr. Let me write Mr. Tomei.
That's right.
I do want to bring up one thing that came from this trailer. A lot of internet, calm down. A lot of fan theories popping up around Endgame, and this is the one that people were talking about that I just need to just stop in its tracks. It goes, an Avengers Endgame theory suggests that Peter Parker may never have gotten off the bus. So when we see Peter Parker in Infinity War, it's on a bus. He's on the way to a field trip, and then they see the spaceship, and then he goes off to save the day. They're saying, okay, it's going to be alternate timeline, right? The spaceship never comes to New York. He's on the bus to the field trip. It's minutes after, right? In Infinity War, this movie happens minutes after what should have been the invasion of Earth. There's one problem. Peter Parker actually says that they were on their way to MoMA, the Museum of Modern Art. So, no. Stop being stupid, internet, and just enjoy a movie. Just enjoy a movie. Don't try to solve it before it comes out.
Yeah, I don't need anybody picking this shit apart.
Yeah,
seriously.
Stop it.
I'm done.
Yeah.
I actually am done with people picking these things apart before the movie comes out.
Absolutely. So just enjoy it. Just enjoy things. It's great. Go ahead.
Also, though, did I catch the black suit?
It was not the Venom symbiote suit. It was a...
No. No, the black suit, like the Web of Spider-Man #1 black suit.
I don't believe that's the same suit. I think this is supposed to be a more tip to. You may be right though. I don't know. Well, ask Brian.
I don't know what the I really don't. I wish I knew the suit with the flying webbing. Thing. I don't.
That part. I thought that was Secret War, not Secret Wars. What was it called? There's another.
I don't. That's the thing. I don't know. Brian knows. He's not here, and I.
So obviously, there's also a lot to unpack from this trailer. A lot of questions.
Dope suit, and then I saw a black suit, but I didn't see a fedora, so I didn't imagine it was noir. And I thought they were going after the Web of Spider-Man #1.
You may be right. I may be wrong. I may be crazy.
No, I don't know.
I just
it kind of looked like he had goggles, and the goggles aren't. The goggles aren't the black suit thing. So CJ, not just Web of Spider-Man #1, but also Todd McFarlane's Spider-Man alternate cover, first edition. That issue #1 had an alternate cover with the black suit.
Right. Yeah.
I still have it's in my box. I still have it. Bagged and boarded.
Nice.
I fucking have that shit. So the black suit is my absolute favorite.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the fan favorite. It's not the most popular. It's just my favorite.
That's right.
I don't know.
Everyone's got their own spider suit that speaks to them.
Yeah. That's my favorite.
I really enjoy the Ben Reilly suit. I don't know why. I just fucking love it. I think it's cool. I think Brian's, oh God. Okay, I'm going to do something dangerous. I'm going to assume Brian's position on a Spider-Man topic.
That's probably not a good idea for anybody.
I think okay. I think he likes the original classic suit, the one they call classic in the Spider-Man PS4 game. I'm pretty sure that's
he
true.
loves the Sam Raimi suit.
Oh god, you just put out your own position as what Brian feels about Spider-Man.
I know for a fact he loves the Sam Raimi suit. I'm not saying it's his favorite. I'm just saying I know for a fact he loves it.
Okay, well, listen, we want to pick Brian's brain. So tune in next week. We'll pick Brian's brain on what he saw from Spider-Man Homecoming that we, the lay people, missed.
I hope he gets married in a Sam Raimi suit.
Can we make that happen? Can you wear it underneath the tuxedo?
I think we can try.
Can he wear it underneath it?
I don't know what he's going to do. He's full of crazy fucking
ideas. All right, ladies and gentlemen, for our final topic this week, I thought we would go deep into the jungle and we would explore the Amazon together, where we tell you some of the tips and tricks for your Amazon Prime subscription. So listen, Amazon obviously knows a lot about your shopping habits. It knows that you like to have stuff. It, of course, knows that you like to buy things from your house and ship to your company with your work address. But the other thing it knows is what brands you like. So Amazon has begun sending out free samples of products that it thinks its users will like. Odds are, believe it or not, you are already signed up for this service. However, if you want to check the status or if you want to remove yourself from this, there are instructions in the show notes that you can go to and get yourself taken off the list. Now, as we know, I'm a bit of a privacy nerd and all that jazz, but I love free stuff. So, all right, Amazon, send me a free sample of soap. I'll try it out. Whatever. That doesn't hurt me.
I have not gotten anything for free.
Well, then you need to double check your settings, and if you haven't,
I love free stuff.
Who doesn't? Who doesn't love a free sample? You tell me who walks around Costco going, I will not try that piece of sausage.
Dude, we go to Costco on purpose, between 12 and 2 on a Saturday because it's prime time for free samples, and the kids love free samples.
Gotta graze. That's my favorite part of going to Sam's.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't like free stuff? And if Amazon, since they already know the way you shop anyway, which, let's face it, there's no privacy assumed when you're buying products from a place.
Dude, there's no privacy assumed when you're on the internet.
Well, no, I get that, but let's go a little bit deeper. If Amazon weren't the internet, if it were a
brick and mortar retail, oh hell yeah, no, there's no privacy assumed there either.
They would you're buying something, they're capturing the data. Yeah. That's all there is.
You know how they make you get that club membership card? Oh, here's the bonus card. Just scan it; it'll help give you points.
Right, so you're getting benefits from your local grocery store, your local department store, whatever. Let's imagine they wanted to give you free things based on your shopping patterns every time you go there. Right. Wouldn't you want that?
Yes. I would prefer that over to Amazon. I don't shop at Amazon a lot. I'd rather have
bought in.
Go for it. Sign in. Check the preferences, though. Like I said, some of you may not be all the way into this. Some of you would like to opt out. If you're someone who is like, hey, listen, that's a little too creepy at this point. Please don't. Then go for it. Okay, listener, thank you so much for listening to this episode. However, I've got something I got to ask for you. I got two things. Number one, don't forget, you can call 484-373-4119, and you can have your voice on the show. So want to hear some reactions to Spider-Man Far From Home, since we're going to be talking about it next week. Did you like the trailer? Was there something in particular, a nice Easter egg that you found that you want to share with us? Please let us know. Maybe even what do you think about the new Ghostbusters movie? Please. Again, 484-373-4119. Call, text, email, whatever you got. You can also find us on Facebook. Please also share this episode with a friend, because sharing is the ultimate internet currency, and we thank you for your donation. Thank you so much for making us your walk around your neighborhood or your drive to work, and we will see you all next week.
Well, welcome to the club, because you are that kind of nerd.
Yes, now my question. It's a one-part question and then one-part aside. I am now in a position in my career where I am talking to a lot of people on the telephone more than I used to. And I noticed that the way I say my name sometimes, it sounds like Caesar. Have you ever caught that before?
I've never heard your name as Caesar ever. Caesar is a delicious salad made of anchovies, eggs, oil, has romaine lettuce. There's garlic in there, Parmesan cheese.
I've had 4 people this week call. Oh, hey, Caesar.
You Caesar?
Hey, Caesar. I was like, Caesar? And then the people around me are just like, it's like a Yanni Laurel kind of thing.
Are you saying your whole name?
No, just saying CJ. Hey, this is CJ, and people are hearing Caesar. I don't know what to tell you, but people are working on calling me Caesar. I don't know what to do with that.
Well, I don't know what you want to do about it, Caesar, but you should probably fucking fix it.
I guess it's me now.
That's right. You're Caesar now.
So here we go. We'll do A/B testing, and and we can do. I am going to do one with CJ, one with Caesar, just to hear it. So,
okay.
Welcome everyone to That Kind of Nerds podcast. I am CJ Millen, joined by Josh Burns and Brian Thornton.
What up? Can you say Caesar Melon?
Okay, sure. Welcome everyone to That Kind of Nerds podcast, a weekly show that tells you. Welcome everyone to That Kind of Nerds podcast, a weekly show that tells you what is going on in the nerdy world. I'm Caesar Mellon, joined by Josh Burns and Brian Thornton.
I like Caesar better than CJ.
Just change the name.
It just plays better. Let's get the paperwork started.
Hola, me llamo Caesar. Buenvenidos a la.
Hey, your girls are young enough that they're not even gonna know. They're not even gonna know the difference. It's not gonna matter.
All right. Well, let's get this.
The only people that are going to be butthurt are your parents.
let's start the real show. Let's start the real show. Okay. Well, this is going to be a hell of a day. All right. So, it looks like Josh. Before we dive head first there. Before we dive head first, we got some shit to take care of.
Laddie,
don't do nothing. I need you to call a number. Just call 44. 373-4119. Leave a message, you fat kill.